Well, fellas, we did the unthinkable. Well, I did the unthinkable, and I hit Mr. Barry R. He and I got very acquainted at Dominion Raceway at the SCCA track event on October 9th. And it was my second to last, technically. It is my last track event now, due to the circumstances that you guys saw. But it was it was supposed to be my second to last track day event because I wanted to do a farewell tour to Pit Raceway this Wednesday, but obviously with the car being in the shape that it's in right now, and as you can see, I don't know if you can, you probably noticed it. Look at the hood, like it's kind of jacked up. So there's some structural integrity issues going on here, and as you saw in the picture, in the clips that I showed prior, like this car got hit pretty good. But I'm okay, which is very important. Oh, I just noticed too, the side skirts are coming down, so I might just have to take this one off as well. I'll probably do that today or tomorrow. But it took me a couple of days to come up with the words to say to this video, on this video, just because, it's the first time I've ever crashed. So like, period. Like, I've never had a car accident, nothing. And luckily I didn't hit anybody or nobody hit me. It was more of my mistake. It was, driver mod or whatever the case may have you. But today I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit about what happened and what I learned from it, because I got to sleep on it a couple of days, kind of got to clear my head of what could have happened if I didn't go this route. So I definitely got a fresher perspective on what to focus on for next season. And for me, there will be a next season. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to stop driving, this Subaru. I am going to get it fixed. I am going to make this car better than ever for next season. So I got time. So I'm not necessarily worried about it as far as like, getting the repairs done and getting back out there on the track. Because if you know me, or if you don't know me, I'm very competitive. And when I fail, I try to go back and fix the issue that I failed at, because that's just the type of person I am. That's the whole reason why I got into performance driving, because it's super, it takes a lot of skill and a lot of concentration and a lot of effort to be very good at it, which is right up my alley, because I needed something to challenge myself. I needed a new hobby that can challenge me and take me to, that can give me that dopamine fulfillment, I guess. And also, trying something new in life. I've been doing a lot of the same things that I've been doing my whole life, and I figured I would dabble into something different. And this is that different thing that tickles my fancy, and I'm not going to quit. I am definitely going to focus on getting better, watching some videos, getting on the sim rig, learning more about my racing line, and just trying to improve overall as a driver is always my goal. So for me, it's more or less, can I improve? Where can I improve? How can I get better during these winter months when the tracks are closed? So, it felt bad. I would say my initial thoughts when I did hit that tire wall was, what the heck did I do wrong? Did I push the car wrongly? Did I take the line wrong? Or like, what did I do? And that's kind of it's not necessarily a bad way to think, but it's just, you're looking for your mistake. And sometimes these things happen so fast that you just can't counter for them, and things happen. Like, pros crash a lot. These are like split-second decisions that, you have to adjust to. And for me, I'm still learning a lot about this stuff. So I'm trying to push the envelope to see where my limit is, and, and the limit of my tires. So now that we're talking about that, these things right here, y'all, let me zoom in. You see these stock Bridgestone S007s? Take a real good look at them. Matter of fact, I'll show you. up close. Like, I don't know if the light will catch it, but that tread, bro. And again, that's a mistake on my part. I should have stayed with my PS4Ss, but I had a bent rim on one of them, so I didn't want to risk that. So my thought process is, hey, let me go ahead and, run the stocks. I'm only going to do a couple more track days, whatever. And they still seemed in decent shape, but dude, was I wrong? At least halfway wrong. Let me explain. So I did 3 sessions, right? We had 3 sessions. My second session is where I really pushed the car. I gave the car, I was at 10 tenths for 6 or 7 laps straight. I was just going. No overheating problems. The oil temps and all that was just fine. The car was firing on all cylinders. So I felt really great. I was breaking my lap record. I was doing PBs almost every lap. And my goal was with that situation was just to stay consistent, because the first time I didn't really get a shot at recording my lap times when I first went up there. So secondly, my second experience, I definitely wanted to put up consistent lap times. Whether they were fast or slow really didn't bother me that much. It was just more about being consistent and following the same line and seeing where I can gain time at. So for me, it was just, let's just slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Let's get better every lap. And I was doing that. So after my second session, I felt really good about myself. I felt really good. And as the instructors and the more seasoned people will tell you, do not push the car on the third session, because things like this happen. Your tires they're done. They've heat cycled multiple times, and some tires are better than others. The PS4Ss, I had no issues with those all season, none. And not to mention they're a bit wider tire too, so I was probably driving a bit different based on these with being 245s. So totally different tire, and honestly, totally a way better. Now that I've driven on both, they're way better tires. As far as what I'm trying to do for a performance application, PS4S is the way to go. If any of you guys are wondering, PS4S is definitely the way to go on this car, on any performance car, I think right now. Obviously, until you can get the PS5s, but for me, it's, I thought, like, I already finished my second session. I didn't plan on pushing the third. So I just went in there and, I was going like, I would say 6 tenths. And this was the first turn on my second little lap that I was pushing, because I was going home after that. And all I did was just lift off the gas and just turn in. The front tires just, boom, they gave out. And by the time they gave out, maybe it was fatigue for me, or maybe it was something. It could have been fatigue because I couldn't catch it. I couldn't feel that I had lost grip so quickly. And by the time I even noticed, it was too late. The car was already spinning in a circle, and boom, there's a tire wall. And thank God it was just a tire wall, because again, I'll show you guys the damage. It could have been a whole lot worse than this. And again, as far as internals, everything internal was fine. The car held up like a champ. I still drove it, 300 miles back home. So, like, let me see. Yeah, you see, like, dude, it got hit. It got hit pretty hard. But everything seems to drive fine. It definitely needs an alignment, and it definitely just obviously needs the body work, right? And I have other extra pieces for, like, the paint mash and all that. I could definitely go get that from JD Muscle. So I'm not really sweating that. I'm just glad that the car was drivable and it wasn't completely totaled. No airbags deployed. So that's also a good thing. And I'm just glad that was the major thing that happened, was just this frame damage. So for me, it's, a lesson learned, and definitely, let me just add this in there, get track insurance, because I will be, paying for this myself, and it will get repaired for sure, because I cannot drive around looking like this. But just get track insurance, pay the extra 170, 160 bucks just for a peace of mind, so that you're not, for me, I'm never gonna go without track insurance again, because you will have that peace of mind knowing if you did push your car and an accident happened and you live from it, you can get your car repaired. So it's definitely a good thing to have track insurance, and I would recommend it to anybody. I don't care where your experience level is, get track insurance. So enough about the sad stuff. Let's go about the stuff that I learned. So what I learned was this, again, I've probably said this, I think about like 10 or 12 times on some of my videos. I'm going to tell you guys from experience, when you push this car to its limit, you do not need 400, 500 horsepower for those of you who are horsepower hunters that don't drive. This car, especially with how heavy it is, I would say about 300 horsepower is right at the sweet spot. Even 270 is still fast. This is stock, by the way. I don't even have this thing modified yet. So, but I know for time attack next season, I will have it modified, and I'll talk about that in my closing remarks of this video. But again, horsepower, this is 270 horsepower. And I was swinging this thing. Like, I really felt really good in this car, and I was catching a lot of faster cars, and I was pretty happy about that. And again, it's just all about the precision, and that Dominion Raceway is a very technical track. So you really need to understand where your braking zones are, where you need to turn in at, where you need to apex, and how you need to come out of that. Was it turn 4? It's a very long sweeping right turn, and that thing is a doozy. But if you do it right, you can make up a lot of time. So what I'm saying is, and that also goes into those things being hard on these tires. I think these Potenza 007s are okay for the street, not even great for the street. I think they're okay, but they're definitely not something you want to track, especially if you're going 1010s. I would just say, if you even thinking about say, oh, I'll just go with these, don't do it. I'm just gonna say it right now. I wouldn't do it. Just go invest into some good track tires, just so you can save your ass and your car. Please just listen to this warning. Do not track the S007s. Do not do that. I will never do that. As long as I'm racing, those things will never be on. I think once they're done now. So once I take these off, they will not be coming back on this car. So like I said, I am going to get this repaired. But again, what I learned was this car is actually surprisingly quick. Like, I mean, I've said this before, but man, like, I feel like I'm getting a lot faster. I was pushing like 140 on, no, I was pushing like 153, I think. 153 was probably like my best lap on that. So 153 and, no, yeah, 153, I think it was my best lap. And then the other thing was just pushing, feeling like I can get faster. I knew where I can get faster. And the good thing about that is, I believe if I had my PS4S's, I would have been in the 150s in this car. And that's actually pretty good for where I'm at as far as like my skill level and everything like that. So, and that's on stock power. Again, it's not even, no intake, nothing. I have nothing under the hood that's giving me any sizable advantage. I also don't even have any bracing. And I did that on purpose because I want to know what this car feels like at the limits of without any mods. And then the modifications I'm slowly going to add. Well, I wouldn't say slowly at this point, because after the winter time, I'll probably have all the mods. I got most of them still in boxes, but I'm just trying to do steps so you guys can kind of see the linear progression of this car, kind of like a video game. So you guys can see. And then at the end result, I'm hoping, my goal is it to be good enough to where I can drive all the way to Michigan and have Q to Chaotic and some of my favorite YouTubers, the Topher, drive the car and see what they feel about it. I want this thing to be track prepped 85%, and then the other 20, something that you can adjust to where if you wanted to daily drive it, it's comfortable enough to daily drive. So I definitely want to do that. It's a stupid goal, I know, but it's a cool goal. It's my goal, so it's cool. I want this end result, I want it to be good enough to where I will literally drive to them and say, hey, drive my car, give me your impressions. Let me know what you think of a modified VB the right way. At least that's what in my head, right? So that's one of my future goals once this car is done early next year. The build will be done probably by February. But anyways, like I said, I learned a lot at Dominion Raceway, to be honest, and I don't regret, although I did when I did hit the wall, but some of us learn differently. And for me, I learned the hard way sometimes, and that's okay. I can afford the repairs, so it'll definitely get repaired, and I'm not gonna give up on doing time attack next year. I'm definitely going into time attack because I believe I have the requisite knowledge and I will have the experience. I have over 15 something track days, and I kind of understand. I wouldn't say kinda. I have a general understanding of racing lines and where I need to go, especially with this car now, to cut time. So this car will definitely be back. And again, fellas, tires are so important. Please do not run the S007s on the track at all. I would also say don't even give it to beans over 10 minutes. If you're on the back road and you got some fast corners and stuff that you like to take, just be careful. Check that tread, because that tread eats quick. And a couple of heat cycles on these tires, bro, I'm telling you, just save yourself the time and the headache. But I think that's all I got for now, guys. I just wanted to explain what happened. I did wreck, and as you can see, and I will get this car fixed, and I will not be giving up on putting this in time attack. I'm definitely gonna have it set up real nice. My track season is over, so now it gives me time to reassess the build. I probably will change the red accents, since I had to take the lip off, the side skirts off anyway, and the lip kind of came off because of speed from the previous track day. So I might change that and just go with something a little bit more aggressive, maybe some carbon, I don't know. But you guys will see. Again, I'll document it as I always do. But with that being said, fellas, I appreciate you guys. And, just because you fall don't mean you have to quit. If you fail, just get back up, try again. You might be better next time. And this, as you can see, is a testament of failure. But am I gonna quit? Hell nah. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.